Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is the horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so we have the 9 of Pentacles or discs or coins, and there's TT. She is out in the hallway. She heard me start talking. She came running, but unfortunately she is not allowed in right now. All right, so let's see what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. Yeah, I'm sorry, the cat. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. It is free to subscribe, and if you hit that little bell, it'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. Supposedly. I don't know if the notifications ever show up. All right, let's see. Okay. So I just want to start right here because this is so clear to me. We have, it looks like a face right here, okay, in the nose. Side profile looking this way, okay, the hair kind of flying back. We have the body here. It looks kind of like a dress or maybe like a, I don't know, maybe a long coat or some kind of robe. Now we have in the hand, let's see, that was fast. In the hand here, it looks like a sword or a dagger, okay? And a little bird maybe sitting on that. Behind here, we have a vase of flowers, okay? And it looks like we have maybe a tombstone. Maybe it is, it looks like it might be a Celtic cross, or it could be maybe, maybe just a cross, right? Yeah, maybe we should start with all of this, although I'm seeing other things. This is a really, really nice formation right off the bat. Okay, so we have the, and to me, it reminds me of the Knight of Swords, because just this high kind of shoulder panel here, it reminds me of the armor of a woman warrior, right? And just the dress as well, right? So and then we have the sword, of course, and looking out into kind of the distance here. Now it's funny because we have kind of a sad face here, but down here we have a happy face, right? And so to me, it almost kind of looks like, it kind of looks like going between emotions. I mean, really shifting back and forth, back and forth. In this mode of thinking. I mean, you're a Capricorn, so yeah, that makes sense. And I feel like it's just it's like you're trying to work something out. You're trying to, I almost think this is like, now we have here a person kneeling. They have like a bowl coming out of it. It looks like a butterfly. And then they have this kind of, I was thinking maybe a balloon, but it looks like a flower. Okay, and it looks like, I'm trying to think like, well, I don't know, but it reminds me almost of maybe like a Persian painting of a flower, kind of the style of it. It just, that's what comes to mind, right? So I'm thinking it's almost like there's a love, there's a a movement towards continued self-evolution, and we know that with the butterfly, but there's also it kind of almost, it's hard for, I'm trying to figure out what this I'm just looking at those faces in here. So I just feel like there's this feeling of really getting so excited, letting yourself get to those high highs, so almost ecstatic about something. And then there's just such a drop off of disappointment. And I feel like it's almost like at times you just get stuck in these modes of like rumination. You just, you get going in this loop of thinking and then trying to get yourself out and reason it out. And yes, it feels better and I'm doing it. And then you start to slip back into that place. Okay. And I feel like this has to do with, I mean, it feels like love, work, and maybe, and it's spiritual. I almost feel like there's somebody that either you work with or you're trying to do something together. Like you're trying to start some kind of, I don't know, like I always think of like volunteering, doing some kind of, event or being on some kind of like committee, or I don't know. It's not exactly your work life, not exactly your social life, but it's this in-between thing. Maybe even, I don't know, like in church, some kind of group in your devotional community or congregation, or maybe your spiritual community, or if you're like a magic practitioner, maybe a grade system you're initiated into. But I feel like you're really trying to find reasons here to be close together. But there's this continued, turmoil. There's a turmoil. And I almost kind of feel like it's like you are blooming in so many ways in your life, like really spending time developing your connection with the universe, with your opening your heart, opening your mind, finding just a place of holistic balance and being grounded, and at the same time kind of head in the clouds, dreaming, innovating, inspired, all that. But then you get taken by these situations that maybe almost are distractive, possibly. I don't know that this is something that you necessarily even want, really deep down. Even if it's just like a friendship, a connection, you just feel drawn to this person. I feel like this is something that happens with you. I feel like you almost kind of experience like other people's energies, and some people, they just have such an energy that you really internalize, and then it kind of gets mixed around as almost feeling like an attraction towards them. But I don't know that's even what you're interested in really in the front of your mind. And I think I think also it's something that it's a subconscious decision to not focus on whatever it is that you're working on internally. And also, part of it too is I think when you have this feeling of connection, or you perceive that there's a connection, it kind of almost makes the days feel better, right? There's something to be excited about. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we all kind of feel that way at times, but you know, I think that ultimately it ends up detracting from the work, you know, and I think that you kind of know this. I think that this is something that you're all too aware of, and I feel like it's just with this person here holding the water and the butterfly kind of coming up and the flower growing, there is kind of a calling back, right? And that's what I'm thinking of. I think it's clover, the little white ones, right? Yeah, clover. But there's a calling back, right? Your kind of guardian angel, your guide, that zone of higher thinking, calling you back, like come back, focus, get back into this place. And, you know, this vase with the flowers, it's just it seems like a scene of just beauty, right? Of perfection in just an instant. And so, you know, I think that it really just calls to the beauty of things, of being fully in your life and not, you know, looking for these kind of tangent side quests, whatever, right? Not all the time. Sometimes we need that stuff. We need things to go chase down and examine. That's why we have hobbies and interests and so many different, you know, I mean, endless things to keep ourselves occupied with. But I think that there's a sense of tempering here, okay? And coming back into the work that you had been doing. And then we have this. Now I'm looking at it and it looks like a crescent moon as well. So interesting, it looks like a cross and the crescent moon. So there is an end here. And I feel like it is kind of a you know, waking up, kind of, you know, shaking yourself out of this enchantment that you have kind of been in, right? And kind of just pulling it together for yourself. And now I see a person, it looks like they're about to jump into the waves. It kind of looks like flames, but I think waves. And then we look this way, it looks like we have a mask, right? And the two eye holes. We also have a Z right up here. It looks like MZ. Then we have it's either we or me. There's an M or a W and an E right here. We have an I. Look at that I. Okay, so I feel like it's a calling to coming back to those emotional waters, right? Into the ocean of unconscious, of inspiration and you know, just abstracts and symbols and impressions and sensations, and you know, and just kind of, if you could imagine, all kind of floating around in this water and immersing yourself in your whatever your kind of creative process is to get it going, right? Those first stages of getting back into a creative mode, you know, and some of us have rituals to do this. Whatever that is for you, to kind of get into that place where you are starting to pull together ideas and what is so moving to you, and what are you, you know, what kinds of mediums, you know, are you going to use this time, whatever it is, you know, and just fully going back in. And there seems to be a freedom in that. It looks freeing. Now we do have the MZ. We have the we. We also have the mask. So it almost kind of, to me, feels like there's this sense of wanting anonymity in some capacity somewhere in your life. I almost wonder if you have maybe like a online life that is other than your quote unquote real life, right? Your real identity. If you kind of live online as like an alter ego. Now, I'm not saying that it's like catfishing. I don't think that necessarily like that it's anything like that, or you're trying to fool somebody or take advantage, but maybe you kind of exist online other than, you know, who you are day to day. And maybe that's just because you're a private person, which, you know, Capricorn people, we are. I am a Capricorn ascendant. And, you know, for most things, I'll talk a little bit about it. On here, I talk about more things than I do with anybody in real life, because when I'm doing my readings, I feel spirit. I feel kind of the essence of who I'm reading for, but I'm not sitting in front of somebody. I'm not, you know, there's nobody talking back to me in a regular way. So I feel I just have a lot more courage, right, to say what's about my life, what, you know, whatever things I've shared, which have been a lot. And but, you know, as a Capricorn person, ascendant anyways, yeah, I am pretty private when it is somebody I'm directly talking to, you know. So I feel like there could be this factor of I want to, you know, kind of have this other way of being, but I don't necessarily want it to be attached to, you know, who I am in base reality. And so I think this is, anyways, I'm older, but I'm also young to some degree. I laugh at that because it doesn't feel like it. But I'm an older millennial, right? So we're not totally... we grew up at the beginning of like mass internet, right? Not in the first days where only a few people had it, but a little more, you know, AOL and all that. And so, you know, we grew up in an era where, yeah, people fully like lived out personas online. They still do. I know a lot of just random people, like especially on Facebook. I have no idea who they actually are. I have no clue. They are just fully immersed in a character, right? And so it doesn't seem odd to me at all that somebody would do this, you know. So we also have a microscope right here. Okay, so I feel like there is a sense of, I feel like it's like too easy and apparent to be, oh, it's a sense of, you know, really examining your life. Yes, we already know that, but I almost feel like it's, I feel like you feel like you're being watched, and I'm thinking like at work. That, I mean, I don't feel like this is like, you know, somebody doing, you know, watching you. There are certain words I'm not supposed to say, and I think this is one of them. But yes, to be kind of your privacy infringed on by somebody in particular who is, you know, really watching it without your permission. And I don't necessarily, I feel like it's kind of more like a work thing where you feel like you're maybe being singled out, or maybe they are watching you for review, and you might get, you know, maybe a raise, or maybe not. Maybe you don't know how things are gonna go, right? So, but there is this feeling of being aware. I'm being kind of watched right now. And I don't think that's your favorite feeling, right? I don't think it's, it's not really it for you. Okay, so we have a circle, a 0. It's so funny. Again, we have right here. Oh, can I get it? Did it go away? No. We have a little sad face, kind of, and I'm trying to see right here. Sad face, and then a happy face up here. So, and it's hard to see, I'm sure. I'm scared to move it because then it'll all move. But it's, again, this like fluctuation between. And the circle to me just, it feels like, because right next to it there are candles of illumination. 2 of them, 3 of them. So I almost get this feeling that it's like, okay, we got to get this moving. This back and forth, this up and down, it's not working for you. It's not something that is, I feel like to you, it's like, this is not very productive. It's not, you know, I'm constantly just going into my emotions, and it's kind of taking away from other aspects of your life. And so I think because you're practically minded, yeah, there's a sense of, okay, something's got to give here. I'm going to have to start either talking to somebody, maybe having a counselor, doing therapy, a support group, confiding in somebody in my life that I trust. Something. Okay, so I feel you like really making this active decision. Okay, so we're going to do the Wild Bohemian affirmation cards, and these are the fire element. Okay, and I'm going to flip through and stop where it feels right. Okay, and it says, I am here. Allow yourself to be taught by love. Be fluent in nature's language. Be fluent in nature's language. All right. Well, Capricorn, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you, because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out, and it is free to subscribe. It is free. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. So anyways, I don't know. I think that's it. I'm just super excited. We're going to go garage sailing this, well, right after this comes out, actually. I think Saturday morning. So I'm going to go out into the great unknown of garage sailing and see what I can find. Because we were moving, we missed kind of the beginning of the season. And where I live in the upper Midwest, where I live, it is one of the biggest pastimes of the, I mean, it is wild how busy it is. And, you know, I don't know. Where I grew up in California, we didn't really have these kinds of, here they call them like citywide garage sale weekend or whatever. And so all these little towns, because I live pretty rural, all the little towns have different days, you know, where they have throughout the summer, the garage sailing season, where they have the whole town, you know, whoever's going to have a garage sale that year, they all do it the same day in one town. So this happens all over the place. And so you get in your car, and, you know, at 5 a.m, and you go driving to these towns, and you get out and you walk around the town, and you go to all these garage sales, and you get in your car and you go to the next town. And this is like all summer. If you are very serious about garage selling, a lot of them will start on Thursdays and Fridays, and then they go, you know, into Saturday, not usually on Sunday. And it's a big deal. So if I were ever into sports, this would be it, right? I don't really buy a lot of stuff, but I just like looking. But I feel like my whole thing is I'm always looking for like little tchotchkes or figures or anything really that calls to me. Something that feels like it has some kind of energy to it. Something that kind of reveals itself. And that is kind of my ultimate hunt. So, yes. Anyways, I'm so excited, and yeah, if you have any garage sailing stories, or if you're a big garage sailor, or flea markets, I love flea markets as well. Yeah, talk about it. Let me know. Put it in the comments. I love to hear about it. All right, Capricorn, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in just a few days. Good night.